got a comfy spot down there, man. I wish I could just lay down there all day.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Get that
That's
out
the
of your way.
spot, bro.
He's a good boy.
I want to lay down right there.
We got our co-host here with us,
With
Cullen.
him.
He's laying down. And should be going live now. Yep.
I'm the co-host, Rocco. That's the co-host, Cullen.
The Coco.
And your host, James Corbett with Project Refit. With his Eagle Super Bowl hat that I'm super jelly over.
Actually, my mom immediately purchased this and shipped it out to my brother and I right after the Super Bowl went. She scanned that QR code.
Super sick.
Yeah,
I want one.
It's hilarious.
It's probably like a $60 hat.
I don't know how much it is. I don't think it's that much.
Oh, they definitely uppriced it because they definitely knew people were going to buy it as soon as we won. The second we won. It's probably not that expensive now. Probably like 30 now, but I still got to get me one.
And then save. We're going to go share everything. So we do have a guest today. She said she will be jumping on in a few minutes. She's getting herself ready and prepared. She wasn't feeling too well, but she's like, yeah, I'm going to be jumping on. And I'm like, okay. So get ready for that. We're going to be interviewing. Her name is Marilyn. And Marilyn is here to tell her story a little bit and talk to us about mental health and working out and what it's like to be in service as a lady and get her perspective on things as well. So we're super stoked about that. But in the meantime, we have a retreat coming up March 7th to the 9th. It's a weekend. It's a it's a relaxing weekend. 7. We start the fireside chat at like 7 or 8 p.m. And then we have the next day, March 8th, where we do an event. We go out, we do something together, and then the 9th, everybody goes home. And of course, we have a fireside chat that Saturday night as well. So it's just a weekend, just hanging out, chilling. And hey, what's up, Chris?
Carr, Mark, Todd, what's going on, everybody?
What's up, Mark? Todd, what's up, dude? So we're stoked to continue moving this thing forward. We have events we're planning right now. We're planning out the year for retreats, so be on the lookout for the retreat schedule. And if you want to get in on any of those, we're going to be also sending out some emails to our list of people that want to come out on retreats and begin to chip away at that huge list that we've compiled of veterans and first responders waiting to come out. And also, we had a fireside chat last weekend, this past weekend, and it was good. It was in Audubon. Harrison Whitman and Jim McCausland came together to put that on. It was hosted at the American Legion in the Murray Trout American Legion in Audubon. And so we're.
Is that going to be a regular thing?
The one in March, we're going to be Yeah, I think they're going to be doing it once a quarter.
Fire, right?
Yeah, Forged by Fire. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what they're calling it. Mm-hmm. And the March retreat is in Albright, PA. So it's the Poconos. To answer your question, Todd. So if you want to come out, let us know. Message us. We'd love to have you, brother. It should be a good time. It's always chill. We're having guys from Massachusetts come down as well and come hang out with us down there in the Poconos, and we'll see what we're going to do. It might be a paintball or ATVs or something like that. So, we're stoked. We're stoked. Should be a good time. If we do play paintball, it's going to be at Skirmish. He said, I'm in Ohio. If you want to drive there or if you want to get flown there, let us know. We do have hookups for that now. So
he said, well, damn it. Like, we won't move mountains to get you here.
Yeah, dude, if you wanted to come, let us know.
We are Project Refit. We do things.
Oh, right before your B-Day. Okay.
He said we show up. Like, we won't show you up. We'll show you up. Damn it.
I think he means that in a good way.
Hey, yo, so, like, side story, right? I was looking at Carr and it reminded me of the realest, like, I was laying in bed. It was night, and he was like, yo, you working tomorrow? And I had it was probably the realest text I've ever sent in my life. he's like, "Are you working tomorrow?" And I said, "That depends." That depends if my will to live outweighs my will to lay in bed long enough to physically fuse to it.
That's interesting.
And that was like the truest thing like I've ever said. Like I was just laying in bed debating on whether I was going to go to work the next day or not, and then he hit me with that question, and it was like the wildest thing because I was already feeling that kind of cynical vibe going on. Like I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling going to work tomorrow. And then in comes like cynical ass Chris Carr, fucking asking me if I'm going to work tomorrow, and I'm like, you know what? I don't fucking know, dude. He talked me out of it. And when I told him that, he's just like, I respect that. And he didn't fucking say anything. I was asking him. I wanted him to like talk me out of it, and then I fucking went to work like a good adult.
Well, I'm glad you did it. And Marilyn said that she's jumping in 1 minute here, so that's cool. That's cool. Super stoked to have you, Marilyn. But yeah, man, that is real. Waking up, you're warm, not feeling too good. You don't know if you want to go.
It's like peak cynicism.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
I love it. Conquering that cynicism does make you get ready to like fuck the whole day.
Yeah.
Bend it right over and just
do your thing.
Bang.
Yeah, do your thing to it.
It was a good day too.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was a good day.
I got a lot fucking done. And then I got some recognition from my team, which is weird because normally the recognition that I hold is for the team.
Right.
And then they were like, actually, that's recognition for you. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Hey.
And I had to like hold back some man tears.
Right.
Or some manager tears. I told my wife. They're like, like, oh, I'm appreciative of, you've been saying for a year, once I get on shift, and you got on shift, you fucking did what you said, and you're doing what you said, and you see me running around here and getting this equipment and moving mountains for us, and we appreciate you for it. And I was like, fuck.
That's cool. That's cool.
So, it was a good day. I got a lot done, and I got that, and
doing your thing. Hell yeah.
So,
dude.
Fuck you, cynicism.
That's right. You got to push through that shit. That's that age-old quote I love to bring up. The where I forget which stuff said it, but we wake up in the morning and we don't want to get out of bed, and it's hard, Hang on.
Reach deep down, grab the metaphorical nut. You got something or not? Fucking do it.
Right, exactly. You got to get it done. You got to get in there, and you got to make it happen. So it's definitely exciting. And Marilyn, if you're watching, we sent you an email with the link to join into the show here, studio that we have, a virtual studio here. So check that out. Click the link and join in with us.
Mark, you still here? If you're still here.
There she is. What's going on? Yo, what's up, Marilyn?
What's up?
How are you today? I know you're not feeling too hot, but
thankfully I feel well. I'm blessed. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Great. We're really great. We're super stoked to have you and talk to you about your experience being a lady in the military, and kind of your story and things that you face in particular, and kind of take us through your whole journey of what made you kind of want to join, or what led you to joining, and what your experience has been like inside of it. And we noticed that you are big time on mental health and trying to motivate other women in particular into taking that seriously, and why that matters to you so much, and take us through the whole thing. So where'd you start out? Where'd you grow up? And, what led you into the military?
Well, that's kind of. I'll try to make long story short, but I will leave everything. I'll say everything that I need to say.
Cool.
Um. So I originally have joined the military to for the educational benefits. So my intention was to finish my bachelor's degree in nursing, and at the time I had a significant other who was in the military, and he would encourage me to join for the educational benefits. So I took that opportunity. I started talking to recruiters, and but unfortunately, when I was going through the process, he passed away.
Oof.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, the the guy I was seeing at the time. So that was a very difficult time. It took a lot of healing and a lot of time for me to actually even have the courage to enlist. And 2020, I decided to make that decision and join the Air Force as a reservist. And in the outside, I am a nurse. In the Air Force, I am a medic.
Oh, okay. All right. So your experience being a nurse, I bet that adds to the challenges and the potential difficulties as well.
Absolutely. Thinking like a nurse and thinking like a medic is two different minds. So
Hmm.
I think that's what made it a challenge for me. But I did enjoy learning a lot of new things. And now being in the Air Force, being able to apply them. And still as a full-time nurse, still being able to do my job. And I'm very happy about that. So joining the military was honestly one of the best decisions I've made. I'm continuing my education, and from time passes by, I'm in the service. I meet a lot of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. I'm just gonna start with that much. I feel like one of the takes that I do have from joining is the people that I met while being in the military.
Right. You love the people.
Amazing. You meet everybody. You meet all types of people, but you do create some lifelong friendships while being in.
What has that meant to you?
It means a lot. I have one of my friends who actually named her cat after me. Her name is Muro. Well, my last name is Muro, so she named her cat Muro.
That's super cool. That is super cool. That's a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. So how'd you get to the point where she wanted to name her cat after you? How
She
long
does
did you
a
guys
lot of
know each
cats.
other?
She has a lot of cats.
Oh wow. How many
So,
cats does she
so
have?
she was just like, I don't even know what to name this one anymore. I got Stuffy, I got Felix, and this one's just gonna be your name. Let's just hope you guys
Moral.
stay friends, right?
Hey, we're still friends, okay?
That's cool.
Yeah.
So so you wanted to join in, so you were inspired to go in through uh someone that you cared about, your I don't even want to call him necessarily an ex-boyfriend, but
Significant
someone
other.
that what's that?
He was significant other.
Your significant other that passed away, and you joined in. Was that kind of like you're honoring him in a way by doing that, or
Yes. Absolutely. So yes, absolutely. I did want to join before, but absolutely until this day. I'm thankful to him. I always will be for giving me that motivation and that push because I would have never done it by myself. I would have never even thought about it. So I'm very grateful.
that's really cool. That's really cool. So so you're a reservist now. Have you ever deployed or anything like that?
No, we were in the bucket list. I believe it was last year, but it was canceled, so we weren't able to get deployed. We will be in pretty soon, so
That's
we'll
cool.
see.
Yeah. That'd be awesome for you to experience that as well. So you mentioned the mindset between being a nurse and being a medic and how it's so different. Could you take us through that?
Yeah, so I am an emergency room nurse, and working as a medic, two different things. Now, however, when I was, for example, in tech school, when I was in tech school learning all these new skills, I was a pediatric nurse. Different world from being a medic, seeing trauma, seeing all of these other injuries that you would see in war, let's say. And whereas here, I'm just watching pediatric children. It's just completely different. Um, Working in a nursing setting versus working with people in the service, different types of people for sure. Different ages. In pediatrics, my colleagues were all sorts of ages. Military, obviously, I cannot be working with a person who's a lot elderly.
Right.
So that age group experience and scopes of practice very different. But I love having the knowledge of all of them. So I do like that a lot. In the military, along with meeting a lot of new people, creating long life friendships, and learning all of these new skills, for sure has been one of the best decisions I've made.
Wow, it's a hell of an endorsement right there. What do you think is when it comes to the mental side of things, like how is it different as well being, you know, a nurse as well as being a medic in the military? What is the mental switch? What are the challenges that you have to face when you're doing both or going through both?
It's a lot. It's a lot. When working in the emergency room, particularly, just because I do that full time. We see everything. We see from someone giving birth to someone passing. We see somebody who's doing very well coming in for just very light symptoms, and the next day they come in because they have a cardiac arrest.
Right.
So we see trauma. We see all of these um, accidents happen to people. So it can take a toll on our mental health. Sometimes I feel like, did we do enough? What did we miss? Why didn't they live? So that can get to your head. Like, was I good enough of a nurse to actually take care of them? And it takes a mental toll on you. Sometimes you do see these things happen and you just go home and shut it off. But that's why I think it's important as a healthcare first responder military to always take care of your mental health. And if you don't feel okay to speak up, you need to speak up.
Mm. And how do you do that?
I'm very thankful to have family that's very supportive. My first source is always going to be God, because I feel like if it wasn't for God, my head would have been all over the place. It gives me purpose. My being able to come home, being able to see my family here, and friends. I do have very supportive friends that I'm able to vent out to, especially in the same field. They understand like no one else can. Same thing with the military. There's a lot of things that we need to talk about that we experience only in the military. We can't talk about that like to some family. They just don't understand, or some other friends who are civilians. But speaking up is important. If your mental health is getting to the point where you can't take it anymore, you need to be honest and say something.
Yeah.
Sounds like community and camaraderie is very important.
Yeah. Big time. I would say
Segue.
that with that and with the challenges that you face and like speaking up, and you say how there's certain people that do and don't understand. Could you try to elaborate and let us know what you mean by not being able to understand or relate? Like, what does that actually mean? Like, what wouldn't somebody be able to understand?
Experience. I feel like it has to do with experience. I can't come home and talk to my little brother about a traumatic injury that I saw at work, and I'm not going to get too much into detail, but body parts out of not in the body anymore, and he just doesn't have that same understanding. He can listen to me, but there's nothing like having somebody that is in your same field that can actually understand and feel and has gone through the same thing, and you never know who you're also going to help out while speaking up. It might be mutual.
Right. So you're saying the experiences of the things you're seeing, the things you're trying to do, um, and even some of the missteps and such, and kind of like the learning you can get out of it, and the coming to terms, if you will, with you know the actual roles themselves.
Absolutely, it can come with that. But I do feel like it's always good to have your day ones near. Keep the people who are always willing to listen to you. That's important. So,
That's a
but I'm
large
glad
part
I have
of the
family.
soothingness of what Project Refit is. It's like you have therapy, and there's you can build strong roots with therapy, and you can get a lot of tools from therapy, and you can get medications from a psychologist and all this other stuff. But there's a certain comfort you get with talking about things that only somebody else has experienced, somebody else could have knowledge about, somebody else has been around, that even a therapist wouldn't be able to identify with. And there's just something about talking about these things with somebody that can sympathize and empathize with you on these things, and probably has been through these things and can give you some advice that has actually helped them through, and can make sense to you on a much deeper level because they've been through some of this stuff. So,
Because of the shared experiences. What is a piece of advice you received, speaking of that, from somebody, or what is a piece of advice that you'd like to pass on to others that has helped you tremendously? Like what are some practices you've actually put into place?
To take your time, breathe, pray, and like he said it perfectly. Always know your resources. Know your resources. Know who to go to. Um, say something like if just be accepting enough that it's okay to speak up and it's okay to need help. Sometimes people feel like they're gonna be okay, or they get to that point that they feel like they're a burden. They don't want to speak up. So know your resources and know that there's always someone willing to listen. So if I'm gonna give anyone advice, it would be definitely that.
What's something that you've implemented in your life that you think has been really beneficial for you?
Something that I implanted, especially with my mental health, is when I feel overwhelmed, to slow down, to take my time. When I'm at work and I feel like I'm overwhelmed with stress, or when I'm in the military and I feel like I have too much workload, I take a step to the side and I do two things. I breathe and I go to one of my wingmen, one of my colleagues, and I tell them, hey, I'm feeling this type of way. Can I tell you how I'm feeling? And there's always someone willing to listen. Um, when it comes to resources, absolutely, I had to use them in the past. And I'm grateful that I did because of that. And then I can gladly say that I'm here because of the resources. I was able to speak to somebody. I was able to pray and have family that I'm happily open to. And so thank you so much for everything that you're doing. You're making a difference truly to everybody that you're reaching.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. We feel the same way, but when it comes down to the story of like you had to use those resources, um, could you take us through that story? I mean, something maybe somebody else could relate to.
So that one's a tough one just because, it's something very deep in my heart. It happened especially when I had a miscarriage.
Mm.
It
So
didn't have to do so much with work related issues, but it was more of a personal journey.
yeah,
I had a miscarriage, and I know it's a very tough subject to speak about. It's very dark. Um, as a woman, you feel like part of you does die,
mm,
and it's something that you're never going to get back.
yeah,
So when it comes to speaking up about it, it's very hard. It's very difficult to open up to somebody, especially that doesn't understand, or they just say things that try to make you feel better, that there's nothing that really will work.
mm,
Like everything happens for a reason. There's going to be a different time. Maybe you weren't ready. All you're going to hear all the things in the book. Nothing can ever replace that. So, to be very open and transparent, I had a lot of healing to do. I wasn't myself. As a woman, we go through hormonal changes when you deliver a baby or when you lose a baby while you're pregnant. So it's overwhelming.
mm.
And thinking about using resources isn't really the first thing on your mind. Um, I will admit though, sorry, I'm slowing down a little bit.
It's
Please.
okay. Take your time. You're good.
Yeah, yeah. This is important.
it's a story very close to my heart, and forever I'll have it. So when I lost my child, uh, no one can console me. Nobody. And it was a very lonely journey. very, very isolating, painful. I don't think there's any other loss in my life that would ever even compare to that one.
Mm.
Wow.
And I'm very blessed to have had my support system and a couple of friends to be there. I feel like faith is very important when it comes to all of this, especially because you have some sort of foundation to purpose. I wouldn't get out of bed. I wouldn't eat. My sleeping was off, and I still had to show up every day, put a mask on, go work. Put a mask on, pretend like everything is okay. Just keep going. You can never truly keep going if you haven't truly healed.
Mm.
And when I talk about healing, it's deep diving in your healing journey, accepting everything that happened. Journal, do what you have to do to process it. Unfortunately, what I did is, oh, this is the hardest part. I'm so sorry. I tried so hard to make relationships work.
Mm.
I tried so hard to do everything to validate how I felt. And I almost had a victim mindset.
Mm.
Yes, I did have a lot of healing to do, but I feel like healing is a responsibility that we all have to truly make.
You owe it to
Absolutely.
yourself.
100%.
Please keep going. This is fantastic.
Thinking about every day that I would be in bed, I didn't want to get up. My mom would come beside my bed and hug me, try to console me. And even then, intrusive thoughts, and I'm going to be very open when it comes to all of this because I hope someone needs to hear this.
Yep.
And even if it's one person, even if it's not the same issue, at some point we can relate to pain. So, intrusive thoughts, feeling like you're not enough, feeling like, it's my fault. Feeling like you're the guilt trip, you're putting all the guilt on yourself. Those thoughts are not healthy. It came to the point where I just felt like I had no value. I wasn't enough to be a mom. I wasn't enough to be a partner at the time. I wasn't enough to even be a family member because I couldn't be there for my own family. I wasn't there to be a friend because I can't keep up with all my friends. I thought it was better off that I wasn't even here.
Hmm.
So it really took miraculous intervention for me to be here right now.
What was that?
A few, just to name two right now. When you're going through these thoughts, there was always some sort of interaction. Friend calls out of nowhere. Or, again, it's happened. Mom walks in. Sister walks in. That's when I knew I needed help. I had to resort to therapy. I had to speak to somebody and actually get my mind right and truly heal. With healing, it's also going to come with a lot of people you need to let go of, a lot of mindset changes, and the hardest for me was accepting the fact that I'm never going to have my child.
Mm.
I'm never going to have that idea that I had in my head of carrying him, of being his mom, along with other ideas that I know are not realistic. But that was what my heart longed for when I carried him. I'm glad that I was able to reach out and talk to somebody about all of my feelings. I was able to really put myself first and accept the fact that this is where I'm at right now. And there's so much more in life that I can accomplish. It took a very long time to really accept that. So now I can say I carry him in my heart forever.
Right.
Um, and everything that I'm accomplishing now, I'm doing it for God, myself, my family, and in His honor, and whoever's gonna be in my life in the future as well. But for now, I'm taking my journey a day at a time. Unfortunately, this journey had made me feel, like I said, like I wasn't enough. I felt ugly. I was told that I would look better if I was 115 pounds, that I should never wear the color red or purple.
Mm.
It created a lot of self esteem issues along with the guilt. So I'm like, I know it's a lot, especially hearing it as a woman. I know I'm so sorry.
But you see that why this is so important is we, while most of our audience is going to be male, we do have a female audience who has experienced things like these and who might be looking for a female guest who has gone through things like these and who has experienced situations like this in and out of the military and is just looking for, you know, an extra voice to be able to speak out about things. So what you're doing here, the honesty that you're giving out, could be helping somebody, and that's all you can hope for at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely will. I also I'm really really curious about one thing you said in particular that I personally loved hearing, and I would like you to dive into it. Is you said I had a victim mindset, and when you say you had, that means you don't have that anymore, and it means that you had to take accountability for the things that were happening, and in this scenario, it's very difficult to not feel like a victim, um, because it's you lost a child, and it's so personal because your child was still you were still you I don't even know how else to say it, but you were actually creating life, like you were doing that, and then you lost your baby and you had to switch from being a victim mindset because all of it is you. So how did you shift? What was the mindset shift or the realization that took you from being a victim to being accountable and taking full responsibility for your life? Like how did you do that?
Heartbreak. It was heartbreak. It came with wanting to be chosen, wanting somebody to love me that could not love me. I felt like neediness. I wanted this and I went through this and I feel like this, like a victim.
Mm-hmm.
Not that my feelings weren't valid,
Sure.
but no, it came to the point where I was losing myself and I became very aware of it,
Mm.
where I was in situations that I was not wanted in. That's when I really had to make a choice. I gotta leave. I gotta choose me. I'm not a victim. I literally went through all of this and I am also accomplishing all of this. I had to take accountability of actions that I'm going to do after that. So, okay, that's not true. I am enough. I'm more than enough. This happened to me, but it's not, but it's going to happen for me.
Mm.
What am I going to do
How
with it?
about breaking that stigma, though?
I'm sorry?
how do you go about breaking that stigma though? That's an internal battle that a lot of people struggle with, men and women. The I'm not enough. How do you internalize the no, that's bullshit. I am enough. I am worth this.
Look at everything you have accomplished. When you look at your text messages, look through your phone, look at every single person that wants to even talk to you. Sometimes we even fail to respond to people who are checking up on us. It happens. You are enough. You've done a lot for yourself. You came this far. And you cannot tell me you did not come this far. You cannot tell me you did not accomplish anything, because you have, because you wouldn't even be here. Now, if you feel like you have not accomplished enough, why? Do something. Get out of that mindset. You're not a victim. Everything that happens to you will eventually be for you. What are you going to do with this experience? So, just because as a woman I did not feel like I was enough, I decided to join a beauty pageant.
Let's go.
That's not breaking the stigma. That's saying fuck you, stigma.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Tell us about that.
Biggest clapback of my life to the stigma. Biggest clapback. Why? No, I didn't do it for everybody that's hurt me. No, I didn't do it for all of the friends that were not my friends anymore. I didn't do it for anyone else but myself. And obviously in honor of my child. What am I going to do for you that's going to make your life, because it was a life, what am I going to do to add value to it? I joined a beauty pageant. I've done one in the past. Never thought I would do one again. I was a power lifter. Like, I'm the complete opposite of Sprinkles.
Let's go.
Yeah, that is fucking awesome.
I was the complete opposite of that, mind you. I was very in my masculine energy. I was the I got it women. I was the you don't have to help me, like I got this. I'm a hustler, like all that stuff.
Yep.
Not that it's a bad thing, but I wasn't in the receiving energy. I wasn't in the I am enough. I wasn't in the I am beautiful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and I have a purpose in my life. I joined, it's a Latina beauty pageant, so it was with Latinas. So I was able to embrace my culture, truly get to know me from my roots. And during that pageant journey also came, it's not just glam, it comes with discipline, growth, mindset changes, learning new skills, learning new habits, learning how to walk, learning how to do a lot of other things. And I'm not saying join a beauty pageant. I'm saying find a hobby, do something that you love to do. I love the networking aspect of it because I got to meet a lot of people, even within the military, just because of this pageant. Just connections, networking, being able to talk. So with all those skills that I've learned, I implemented them. I networked with people, learned that skill, and I won that pageant.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
I won. And when they said my name after the next Miss Latina Global, I was like, I just really went through all of this, all these obstacles, all these trials, tribulations, and I made it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like the thing that you actually did there for yourself was you were being told as you're going through this loss, you were also being told that you weren't enough, and you wanted to go against what you were being told, the words that were being thrown at you, and you like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go join this thing, go do it because I think I am beautiful and worth it and all that stuff. And not even physically. And I know you're not doing it for the physical aspect of it too. It was a lot of mental and the challenges that came with it was the journey of the beauty pageant, and getting the win was obviously just like a cherry on top and everything. I'm hearing you loud and clear. Actually, it's really cool that you put yourself in an uncomfortable position to get yourself out of that victim mindset. And I really respect that a lot because it's something I feel like some people might misinterpret and think of like, oh, she's gonna go do this and that. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not about the pageant. It's actually about what I had to do for it and about creating a new narrative for myself and that I went through it. Like my mom, for example, she did a one of those triathlons, and she's always wanted to do one, and she did it. And in her age group, and I think in the entire thing, she actually came in like dead last. But she pushed through the whole fucking thing and did it. And she's like, yeah, like I'm happy I did it. Like the whole journey was great. Like I proved to myself that I could even do it. And it's very similar to you. Now, she came in dead last, but it doesn't matter because it's not about winning. It's about I was able to do it and I got through it. And the journey itself and creating that narrative in your mind, you get to tell that story later, and you create new stories and memories for yourself to prove that you're not a victim.
You could have picked anything. You could have picked the national log building championship, but you decided to go against the one thing that people were telling you, that you can't wear red and purple, that you weren't pretty enough. You were like, I'm a fucking power lifter, but fuck you guys. I'm going to go be the most beautiful person that I can be in this fucking bitch ass pageant, and I'm going to win that shit.
Hell yeah.
And that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you so much for
Cool.
because that's absolutely what I mean. Yeah, getting out of that victim mindset. Oh, I'm not going to mope around. I cannot wear purple. I shouldn't wear red. Those are not my colors. Listening to those comments. Oh, I need to be skinnier. I need to lose so many pounds to weigh 115 pounds to be enough. No. No, 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 no.
No, I'm a power lifter.
Good for you.
I need that weight and throw that shit around. Let's go.
No, and that was stepping into that uncomfortable journey and learning how to accept. Because sometimes we're givers. We give, we give, we give. We don't not know how to accept things.
Yeah. That's
and
real.
Yep, it's real because I feel like that applies not just to women, but to everybody. We give, we give, we give. When we are given something in return, we push it back.
Yeah, very often. It's interesting how you were able to pull yourself out of it, but how did that help you with the loss of your child? Like how did that help you specifically?
The journey. The journey is what helped. How did the journey help? The new skills, the new mindsets, the new shifts, the new experiences that, for example,
Jesus Christ.
My stomach just growled. Sorry, my stomach just growled for the past like 15 seconds. That was wild. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah.
No, because I'm feeling the same way.
Yeah. My stomach growled. I think I'm hungry.
I was doing my best to ignore it, but it was just so
It
consistent.
just kept on going, and it was loud. Yeah.
Stop ignoring me.
Yeah. That was wild. Sorry, Marilyn. Please.
No, you're fine. No, it was the journey that came with it. So we have pageant coaches that have been really amazing, but those pageant coaches is not, like I said, glam and walks and sparkles. It's get up, do that walk again. It's wear those 6-inch heel, so I can't talk. I'm so sorry. Those 6-inch heels. And that's not the way to walk. Walk like this. Change this. Do this. I can sit around and mope, oh, I'm not enough. Oh, I can't even walk in heels. Or I can say, no, I'm going to walk in these bitches.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse my language.
No.
Oh, no, you're
I
good.
don't even cuss. It was just like in a moment thing. But
it's real.
Those 6 heels are real. They're not just heels. I had to walk in those. I had to stand in those. And when I apply that to life, it's like burdens. Sometimes they can get too heavy, sometimes they can hurt, sometimes they may create sores, but I'm still standing.
Right.
And I still got this, and I'm still gonna walk.
Yeah.
No matter how painful this is, I'm gonna keep going. If it hurts too much where I cannot walk, I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna take a break, drink some water, and eat something because my stomach's growling.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta
And
get some food.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk.
Hell yeah.
So that journey, met the most amazing women of my life who also needed to hear my story, and I needed to hear theirs. Um, being more in touch with my faith, reading motivational quotes, the Bible, listen to speakers, get out of my bed, stop crying so much, and do something about it. Not that crying isn't bad, but get out of that victim mindset and get up. It's a brand new day. Each new day is a blessing to start over again. It's an opportunity that not everybody has. We have a purpose. We're still here. What are we going to do with it? Our pain is not for us to live forever. What impact are you going to make with what you went through?
That's right.
So that's what I live for now. I know that it wasn't the easiest journey to have gone through, comparing myself to other people, getting up, feeling like I was enough. And now I'm here and I could say that I am blessed. Miscarriage is nothing that you 100% ever heal from, because part of you is forever gone, but it's something that I always have here and I'm able to use in case I need to talk to somebody that went through the same thing. It happens all the time in the hospital, all the time. A lot of women come in for the same reason, and I am really blessed to be able to speak some life into them.
Love that.
Yeah, same. Using your pain to help others, using your suffering to help others. You're motivating people to recognize that there is life beyond this, and that you can live for the very thing that you've lost.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. The journey, the process, all of it, at the end, it's not comfortable, but it's truly beautiful looking back and saying, hey, wow, I made a choice that I
Yeah,
owed.
look at me now, kind of thing, right? Like, I
Yeah.
was able to get through it. I know you said that you never will forget it. You'll never forget your child. You'll never forget those memories that you had that you wanted to have actually with that child. And it was you that spent time with that child, because you were the one that was literally providing life to that child and protecting the child for however long it was. And it doesn't matter if it was even for a week, like, it's still, you were connected to the baby, you were connected to that life that was inside of you. And that is immensely challenging to be able to. I'm actually still very surprised about the statement that you made, that you were acting as a victim. And I feel as if most people, I feel as if most people just get stuck there and stay in that victim mindset, because it's one that, above all, I feel as if that is like the greatest excuse for a victim mindset to thrive, and to break through that, it takes not only a special person, but I feel like a special process that you went through, and growth and journey. And that is just insanely inspiring, honestly, that you were able to, the fact that you're saying that out loud, because it's something that we try to say here all the time, is like, look, you have to take accountability for your life. No matter what happened in your life, you have to take accountability for it. Right. And you can't act as a victim to those circumstances. You can't allow life to happen to you. You have to happen to life, and that's the thing that you were able to shift. Right. You recognize, I don't like being this way. I don't like honoring my child's life that was lost with this suffering of victimhood.
Thank you for saying.
Yeah.
What you just said is the cherry on top of what I'm even trying to say. It's something, it's like a gift, you know?
Mm,
Making that turnaround is a gift
mm.
for
And
yourself.
why do you think it's a gift?
It's a gift because at the end, exactly what you're gifting yourself, and for me, what I give to my child was a sense of purpose, was, life, was love. It's everything that comes with it.
Life.
It's life.
Yeah.
And it's truly beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
glad that even now, the connections that I'm building and I'm able to, um, inspire through my story, the doors that it's opened. I am now connecting with somebody who's actually helping me make a memorial for him. Um, and to me, it's the most beautiful thing. I'm able to gift him and honor him with my life, with everything that I'm doing and I will do, and even a little memorial. And even if it's not just that, it's who I am now. That's a gift.
And if I can, what I'm interpreting out of that is you were offered this horrific gift, and you were able to recognize that it is a gift because you were able to find the purpose in the pain that you were actually going through, to live for others and live for yourself and improve yourself and show that you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, can make it through the inherent sufferings of life. You
Absolutely.
became a more formidable person out of it.
100%.
Yeah, that is a message that I feel as if anyone can understand. Anyone that's gone through anything incredibly difficult. It's back in the I forget which society and culture used to say this. There might be some that still say this to this day, but women, when they're going through growing life and providing life and then going through birth, in the birthing process, were seen as warriors. I think it was in Greece. I think it was
Mm.
Spartan women, and giving birth, because so many of them died even during giving birth. Was seen as a form of a battle. It was seen as a sacrifice to that child and life, and you yourself went through that, and you yourself are in a way a warrior and a soldier in doing that, and offering yourself to grow, and literally a piece of yourself was being passed off into this child. And that's something I think a lot of people miss the point, especially men. We don't recognize that there is a literal piece of you, many pieces of you, that are being given. It's almost like when cells separate, they can actually create other cells. And you're literally doing that. You're giving your DNA, the man's DNA, and the cells and the nutrients and such, to grow this other being. And it's such a powerful and important part of life. And you went through the most difficult part of it, which is you sadly lost the child during that process, and out of it you were reborn as well. So two things were born out of this. One is, you recognize you're never going to be a victim again. You
Yeah.
recognize that you are the one that is happening to your life, and you get to decide the things that are happening for you. And the other part of it is, born out of this was purpose, and you're living for your child. And one of the things that I like to say to as many people as I can, we put it on the back of our sweatshirts, honor all fallen with life, and you are honoring your child with that life. And it's applicable to guys on the battlefield too, when they lose somebody, or when they come home and their buddy takes their own life. The best way to honor that person isn't by being a victim and being sad. It's to continue to find a way to be formidable and to live for them. And that's an important message that I feel like you shared today, and that needs to be spread everywhere. We need to honor all fallen with life.
I like that. I actually really like that. And thank you for that perspective because I didn't even think of it that way. That's beautiful. That's how you're honoring them. Even everyone that's fallen before us.
That's right. Especially them, right? Like we are just animals and we need to recognize that we're connected to all the people that came before us. And the camera's moving because my co-host here, Rocco and I's co-host here, Cullen, just wants to move the camera a little bit. He had to readjust. So but anyway, yeah, that's real. We have to honor all of it. We are here because of them, you know?
And I think our job now is to speak life. Speak life. You know, if you've gone through any of this and you truly healed, do something with it.
Mm.
Do
Yeah,
something.
we got another day to try.
And thank you so much for doing all this for people because I know there's people out there that truly, truly need it.
Yeah.
They need to hear these words. There's so much wisdom behind everything that you're saying. So thank you. Um, Someone out there definitely needs to hear those words, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. It may not seem like it now, but there truly is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming on here and being honest and sharing your words of wisdom and your words of your bounce back and how it happened for you. And I'm sure there's people on here that have appreciated it and will appreciate it when they get to play it back.
Yeah, big time. I know of a woman who she's a refitter. We helped her. She was going through the exact scenario that you had to go through. It was a miscarriage, and I don't remember the term that she was in when she miscarried, but it was heavy, and she had a little bear that was on her shelf for years that was in representation of her child, and she couldn't stop thinking about it. And after talking to her, I was like, "Hey, do you think you need to bury the bear and actually have a ceremony in a way?" And and she's like, "You know what? I love that, and I would like to do that." And she actually contacted a crematorium, and we went to the. We went with her. We actually went to have the baby.
Wow.
Yeah, we went with her to go have the ceremony with her to bury her baby and have the cremation. And that had a major impact on me. I don't know why, but it made me super emotional, and it was very difficult. And thinking about it actually right now is making me a little emotional. She's such a good woman. She's such a strong woman and strong person in general. And she's also a vet. She's actually a nurse as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
There.
yeah. She's a special woman, and tears were shed and hugs were given, and we were able to help her lay her child to rest. And she's like, I feel a lot better, and I was able to do that. And of course, to this day, she still thinks about her child and everything, but she knows she at least did everything she could in honor of that child and what the child that potential of life. And it was very special, because you do have to move on. That's the harsh. Oh, don't say that. It's like no. That's real. You have to move on.
You can move on and remember.
It's right, and love, and you can do that, but you have to, because you have a life to live still. You have to move on from those difficulties, and you have to move on from the things that you're holding on to. You have to grow up. You have to move forward. You have to allow yourself to do that, and you did that. I have one more question for you.
Yes.
How many years did it take you to finally get into that beauty pageant and really begin to move your life forward?
So,
Or months?
I lost a child last year.
Oh gosh.
No, the year before that. I'm sorry. I get lost in years.
Okay, that's okay. So it's 23. This is
23.
recent.
23. Very recent.
Oh,
Very.
wow.
God. I thought, okay, whoa, all right.
Oh, that's so hard. That's
I know.
crazy. You're a stud, dude.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're a stud.
Okay.
Please keep going. Please tell us.
End of 2023, decided I'm going to join a beauty pageant January 2024 and started
So it was about a year.
that journey on March. And won it on November. So it was a whole year long of process and healing. And I think one last point where I want to really
Yeah, of
hit
course. Go ahead.
is acceptance and closure.
Mm,
That's the hardest one, like you just said.
yeah.
Accepting what happened to you. Make sure that you come to terms with it. Closure. Heal.
In what way come to terms with it? That's a pretty key caveat.
It
So
hurts.
what way?
It hurts to say this, but come to terms with it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're not going to have your child back.
It's nothing that I can say, do, change is going to change the outcome.
Right. So why choose the poison of bitterness and hate and instead choose the freeing of, or the freeness really of being accountable and recognizing that you have to move your life forward without this child in this case. And that is hard to say out loud, but that's also the truth. That's the harsh reality of things. And life is harsh. Life is very difficult, but now it just gets a little bit easier because you're able to fight through that and get through that. And you found a pathway to do so. And now you get to use what you went through to help others.
And that's all I want to do.
It's beautiful. Wow.
So thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for even reaching out to me and, having me speak here. To me, it means truly a lot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I saw you jump in there, and we absolutely. Actually, one of our guys, our COO, Tucker, he actually found your account. He's like, dude, I think she'd be really good. We got to reach out to her at some point. And then you jumped into Instagram Live, and I was like, yo, what's going on? So I was like, you know what? Let's just ask her if she wants to jump on. Let's see what's happening here. So we're really grateful that you were able to jump on with us today and share this story. It's really special, and also it was a harsh reality that had to be put out there, that you have to have the acceptance. You have to move your life forward. And yeah, that's a lot of people need to hear that message.
It applies to a lot of things.
Yep. It applies to a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Even if my story people cannot relate to in the sense of miscarriage, it applies to many different areas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And you have raised your bar in terms of the suffering you can take. And that is a gift in and of itself. So congratulations to you for getting through that, actually, right? Like that's a huge thing. That's big. And recognizing that. But again, I have to say, like, I am really sorry that you did go through that and that happened to you, because that's very difficult. And I mean sorry in a respectful, non-victim-y sense, because I know you're not one. So it's more of it's hard that you went through that. And, good for you for pulling yourself out of it and taking the next step in your life.
Exactly.
This episode's going to be entitled Beauty Pageant Winner Lifts Heavy Weights Physically, Emotionally, and Spiritually.
Oh, that's so cool.
Holy shit.
Let's go.
All right. I'm glad we got that on camera, because I don't even remember it already. So
But it sounded amazing.
yeah, it did. I'm glad we have it on camera. I love also that you're a fucking power lifter. That is so badass. You're like, I'm a power lifter.
Retired, but still, I retired, but
oh, yeah.
We keep on going, right? We're still going to the gym. We're still running. We're still doing everything we have to do.
Let's go.
He only has me here for the one-liners.
What's your PR? What's your squat PR? Where are you at?
Well, I'm not that strong. So at the time where I used to power lift, I competed, but it's not like I was the strongest one. I think for the squat was not much, like 250.
Okay, that's good. How tall are you?
5 feet since the 3rd grade.
Holy shit. You're doing that much weight. That's pretty fucking impressive. What's your deadlift?
That one's a lot better. It was 355.
Let's fucking go, dude.
So now on my bench. That's just this. So we'll skip that one.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. What is I actually even more impressive? I want to know what is
Life
your
lifter.
Yeah, life lifter. Let's go. What is your weight? Because that's a good indicator of even like just how impressive that is. How much do you weigh?
Right now, 121 point something.
How much were you when you did 355?
I was a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna gas myself out anyway. I was a lot bigger than that. I was in my 135.
That's fucking insanely impressive. Holy shit. 135 and you're deadlifting 355. You're a fucking beast, dude. That's badass.
Thank
That's cool as shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
right. I'm a little lightweight, but we have different goals now, so we're just building now.
Let's go. That's cool. Do you ever want to beat that 355 PR?
We'll see.
Let's go.
We'll see.
Oh, that's badass. That's such a cool response. All right, cool.
You put that in my head already, so now I'm gonna be thinking about it.
Let's go, girl. Get it, dude. I want to see you come back to me and you're like, I'm doing 415 deadlifts and I'm 120 pounds. Like, what the fuck? That'd be nuts, dude. That's cool as shit. Antasia says, your weight does not define your limits. Life lifter. Let's go.
Oh, I like that. Life.
Hell yeah. That's cool as shit. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much today, Marilyn. That was awesome to get your perspective on things. And honestly, that took, I think, a really great turn. You shared a very difficult time in your life with us. That's what we try to get here, because we're trying to be really honest and open and have positive outcomes that come out of this. And you have a great message you are spreading, and one that is very strong. So use your suffering. Don't allow it to use you. I love that. You know, that's really cool. So thank you again, Marilyn. And Rocco, you have anything?
No, thanks for coming on. That's great honesty. And I can't, you know, I can't ever imagine, you know, going through what you went through on a full spectrum. But, you know, my amazing wife has given me 3 children, and I do know loss. So I can begin putting myself into an imagination of a world where that happens, and I just don't even want to. So thank you for having the courage to be able to come on and share that with everybody. And, you know, wow. That was very powerful. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for taking your time and explaining the story. And, you know, I say it to every guest that we have, you know, if you ever want to come back on, you have something else you want to share, some more learnings and things that you think would be good to pass on to others, please let us know. And we'd love to have you back and, you know, talk to us and share your journey continuously. And especially when you hit that fucking PR.
Yes.
415.
Oh,
I'm bumping it up. I'm bumping it up to 415 now.
Oh my god.
120, 125 weight.
You're giving me ideas.
You're gonna be a fucking stud. You're gonna be on here like fucking flexing and shit. That'd be awesome. Let's go. 415, 120, 125. That'll be the weight. Let's go. All right, cool. Thank you again, Marilyn. And thank you everybody for sticking around with us and listening in. And hopefully you got something out of this. And I can't wait for the social media sharing that we're going to do on this one, because I think there's a lot of good clips and messages that we're going to be able to have out of this. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yep. I'll see you, everybody.